Hey everyone.
Hello.
Dave here with Mr. JC.
Being and wacky.
There you go.
Welcome back to All Stars.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Purple's TWOW Odyssey All-Stars. I'm slightly sick, but I'm recording this anyway. So, last time, our 10 alive contestants submitted 21 responses to the prompt. You enter an abstract art competition. What piece of art do you make to show your uniqueness and individuality? Their responses were put into voting, and 26 voters cast 78 votes. For the first time ever this season, everyone who voted on every screen in a section, meaning each response got the same number of votes. The vote count this round was really good. As usual, thanks to all our voters, specifically Fonda1515, Vanny, J-Pums, Leia Rose, Foxy, Wyatt, RazorForce21, TB.Wave, Lay Unicorn, Plasmic Trojan, Site Director Solix Hakare, Ender, Gizmodude8128, Sergeant Snivy, Sekar Sessi, Random Gamer 123, Xeon Z, Minipanga Dave, Izzy, Tautological Oxymoron, Italic, Jess, ITOD, Conspicuous Piggy, Ali WR, and Die of Occitan. Thanks so much everyone, I'm really happy with the amount of people that voted this round. Also, here are the team counts. Looks like Minipanga Dave has the most supporters. Results time. First up is ITOD, again. His higher scoring response was, "For a totally individualized artwork, I'll paint my own clothes." A decent take on the prompt, but he seemed pretty unconfident in my DMs, even going as far as to send a eulogy. He does have 3 responses to back himself up though, only one of which has to do well for survival. Ooh, interesting. 49.36%. That may have been a decent score last round, but now that everyone has 2 responses, it's actually quite dangerous. We'll have to wait and see if he survives. After a high placement last round, our efficiency champion, Sergeant Snivy, is up second. His higher scoring entry was a pointillism self-portrait also using dashes, repeating me in Morse. An idea that's both a cool and unique art piece, and expresses your individuality. Good job answering both sides of the prompt. I think it could have worked better if instead of the word me, it was something more individualistic, but the tight word count limit didn't allow for that. 70.51% is an amazing score and puts Snivy in contention for a prize. That second response on the other hand though, well, you can see why I had to stretch out the range of the grid this round. Plasmic Trojan is up next with the response, "To combat the abundance of anti-technology art, illustrate technology's usefulness." His original version of this response referenced some guy who nobody knows, so it's probably good that he changed a bit of its premise. Let's see if it paid off. .28% isn't a very good score, but it just barely puts him above ITOD and makes him safe into the next round. Wyatt is up next. He submitted, "Depict the canvas with your blood. Everyone's DNA is unique." A generic idea, but it was executed well, making it a solid response. Did it stack up well against the overall quality of responses this round though? Looks like it did! 63.46% is a great score that easily grants him safety. Seems like nobody's second responses are doing well at all so far. Let's see if our 5th contestant, Tautological Oxymoron, can break that trend. He submitted, "A Pollock-esque painting recreated in condiments. I'm just always hungry." Personally, I like this response. It shows a personality trait, which is a good way of showing individuality. Its only problem is that Pollock is quite an obscure painter, and many people, including myself, probably didn't know who he was. Will that cost Taut survival? .79%. ITOD is safe, bringing Taut to the chopping block. And now with that second response, you can really see why I had to stretch the range out this much. Site Director Solix Hakare is up next with the response, "I upscale my thumbprint into a maze to be solved." This was one of 2 fingerprint responses, but they had vastly different ideas. I actually really like the concept of this one. At this point, it becomes both art and a game. How will it do? Wow, 78.21%? That's the second highest score of the season, only being surpassed by Dave's winning response in round 4. Incredible to see such a high score this late into the game. Nerd is also the first contestant not to have their second response do badly. And now you really see why I had to stretch the range of the grid out so much. Mini Panga Dave is up next, and what's this? Another fingerprint response. A finger painting displays my unique fingerprint all over the canvas. What is it with a Nerd and Dave coming up with the same ideas? This is the second round in a row this has happened. Regardless, this is on par with Wyatt's response in my opinion. Generic idea, but solidly executed. %50.64%. Dave is safe. Too bad he isn't doing a reaction video this time. Up next is Lay Unicorn, who submitted melt stained glass together, resulting in a beautiful translucent wall. Another well-worded response that talks about a unique art piece. I'm honestly impressed with the response quality this round, given how hard the prompt was. Nothing more to say. %54.49% is enough for safety. Uni's second response also does decently, unlike most of the ones we've seen so far. Last up before the sudden death zone is Izzy, who submitted randomly placed colorful dots which spell interesting words in Braille. I wonder what you mean by interesting words here. Don't do anything funky. %67.95% is a pretty high score, easily enough for safety. Now we've reached the sudden death zone. One contestant will be leaving the competition in 10th place. Tautological Oxymoron has yet to be declared safe. It all comes down to last round scraper, Conspicuous Piggy. His higher scoring response was, arranging flower beds embodies self-discovery. Initially formless, beautiful once blossomed. There's a little known rule in my TWOW, where words are counted in whatever way benefits you. This rarely deviates from the actual number of words in the response, but it means things like 9-word responses where one of the words is a hyphen are counted as 10. This round saw this used for the first time this season in this very response. Yes, despite being the longest response of the round at 91 characters, this response is in fact 9 words. This is why this rule is stupid, and I'm honestly considering removing or changing how word counts are displayed. The fact that 9-word responses are voted down is honestly a dumb part of the TWOW meta, and word counts might not even be displayed in future rounds from this point forward, unless they go over 10. Anyway, this response is a cool idea, and is quite elegantly written. Unless you're RandomGamer123, and you think it sounds like a Google translation, which is a perfectly fine opinion to have, of course. Anyway, let's get back into things. Who will leave the competition in 10th place? Who will move on to the final 9? The answer is... Conspicuous Piggy is safe with 68.59%. This means we sadly have to say goodbye to Tautological Oxymoron. Wow, this is a shocking one. You started off the season with 2 prizes in a row, being very close to frontrunner, clearly showing that you had it in you to do well against a population of legends. You submitted what were in my opinion some of the best responses this season, as well as some that carried a humorous tone filled with memes that I associate with you as a person. You got close to death only one time in round 5, when you scraped. I didn't expect your responses to die this round either, so this elimination came as a huge shock to me. For 3 seasons in a row before this, you've done well enough to make it to somewhere between the mid-game and the late game, but not much further, and sadly it looks like that trend will continue in All-Stars. Goodbye. Here's this round's full leaderboard. Stats time! As for relative ranks, due to 2 of the 3 contenders for frontrunner, Dave and Itioti, both nearly dying this round, site director Solok Sakre takes it by a fairly large margin. Snivy did pretty well, so Wyatt is the new efficiency champion. Wyatt also keeps consistency master, and Dave keeps wildest survivor, with yet another placement far away from the middle. Here is a chance matrix from last round. Correct predictions had a 9.16% chance of happening, which means we lost to pure randomness. Again. Here's the matrix for the next round. Let's go to mentions. There's still a clear winner here, and I'm going to avoid giving them yet another mention. Interesting. Despite it being the universal DRP stage, 46.79% still isn't the highest death score this season. That honor still belongs to Gizmo at 46.83%. Site director Solix Hakare joins ITOD and becomes the second person to win more than one round. Here are the ranks after every vote for this round. Even though Tautological Oxymoron was dead almost the entire voting period, the death was always really close, as you can see on this graph of percentiles after every vote. And here's the Sheets version in case that's hard to read. Now it's time to start the only round of the competition where the round number is the same as the number of contestants competing in it. Your round 9 prompt is, you're writing a biography, what's special about it? For clarification, this can refer to your own biography or someone else's. The only thing the prompt requires is that it's unique or special in some way. Go wild. Your deadline is September 5th, 2019 at 22:30 UTC. You each get 2 responses except for site director Solix Hakare, who gets 3. Out of the 9 alive contestants, the one that has their higher scoring response placed the highest will win a triple response prize for round 10, and the one that has their higher scoring response placed the lowest will be eliminated at 9th place. Thanks for watching, everyone! It seems this is the first quick episode of the season, so I hope this trend will continue. Good luck, guys!